So when did you run into Scoop and Scrap? Like how did y'all, you know what I'm saying, you know, cultivate that energy that you guys display on stage? Because your performances is always like on 1,000%.
It was Latin Quarter days. You know, I want to say like maybe like around, I don't know, 85, 86, somewhere around. Yeah, but probably about 85, I think. And School used to be one of the IOU dancers. Remember, before artists performed, that dance group would come out and do routines.
Right.
Then they would introduce whoever the artist was performing that night. I met Scoob in there. You know, we used to chill at the bar, me and a couple of the other dancers. Another dude, Mike Swift, Lays. I can't. But anyway, yeah, we chill at the bar, and I was like, yo, one day when I make a record, man, I want you to get down with me. And you know, it was something that was in my mind. And then one night, hanging out with Doug Fresh, I went to his crib, and he showed me these videos of Earth, Wind and Fire, Michael Jackson, and Pink Floyd. And he was talking about how like a lot of rappers out today are learning from Run DMC, Flash and the Furious Five, but it's like you're redoing stuff that we've already seen in hip hop.
Right.
I'm trying to bring stuff into the game that people only seen in pop music and, you know, R&B. So it's never been done in hip hop before, you know. So
right.
That's showing me the stuff with Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind and Fire, and all that. They're saying like this type of stuff he's trying to bring into hip hop, and I'm like, you know. So that next morning, I got up, went to the video shop, and started buying VHS joints on artists that I was into, like James Brown, Marvin Gaye, Barry White, you know. And I started studying them, and it was on the James Brown joint I had, like James Brown did the split, Bobby Bird pulled him up by his hair.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
So yeah, I went and got Scoob, and I'm thinking like James Brown and the Famous Flames, you know. So I got Scoob and another brother, Lays, and you know, we started off, but then Lays went off to do his own thing, and then Scoob brought Scrap in.
Yo, so yeah, so that's dope. So you really studied the full aspect of entertainment, you know what I'm saying? Because you already had the lyrical mastered, and you just wanted to create the visual now and give people that showmanship. And still to this day, because I remember you did when I did the Wendy Williams all white party in Coney Island. That was the last show we did together. Man, you guys came out there and did it, and you had the energy just through the roof, man. It was just like, you know, you still can do that. You and Doug still have the win to go like 45 minutes nonstop.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you do. We do that a lot.
What's your secret, man? What is your routine, man? Is it do you run, jog, do you eat clean?
Treadmill, yeah, treadmill, and you know, eating right, you know. But you know, most importantly, I mean, like, you know, when those shows, you know, not overeating, and you know, definitely not, you know, drinking. And I mean, if you know, if someone is the smoking type, I would suggest you don't even do that until after the show, you know.
Right,
because you want to
you
preserve
want
your energy, and
right.
you know, you don't want to lose your voice either, man. You know, you get tired real fast, you know, when you abuse your body, man.
So let me ask you this. Let's go to the records, the record creation side. Was there ever a record that you felt that you wasn't 100% on board with it, but you put it out anyway? Was there ever a record that you ever record or a session?
Honestly, it was Ain't No Half Stepping.
Really?
Yeah. After I recorded it, you know, listening to like you know how the beat was, you know, I'm like, these lyrics might be a little too hard for this beat. You know, I'm like, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was me and G-Rap hanging out. And I was like, yo, you don't think the lyrics is too hard for this beat? And he was like, nah, they hard, but you saying them smooth, man. It fit. And I'm like, I don't know, G. And then, you know, G with that lisp, you know, that lisp is, he was like, when you was to give it to me, I'll use that motherfucker. No, it was like, nah, never mind. I'm good. I'm gonna use it. I use it. I'm good. Yeah, yeah.
Man, I wouldn't know what life would be like without that record. You know what I'm saying? Like, I talked to Mr. C, and he said, "Yo, man, throughout the whole creative process, when you guys was working and making music, and him DJing, he's like, yo, you were like, everything you did was a goal. It was like, you know what I'm saying? You go in and you lay it, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? There was no like, punch me in, let's do that over. Let me do the vocals over. It was just like, yo, it was like already plotted out. All the pre-production was done. You went in, you laid it, and it was a classic.
Yeah, I mean, like the hunger back then, man. That dream of getting on, and things of that nature, man. It put a special drive in you, man. Real special drive in you. Yeah.
Right. And that also builds the character to give you the stamina to stay in the game. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of Coogee Rap, man, there's a record. Is there a Coogee Rap Jay-Z record?
I don't know. You mean did they do a song together?
No. Did you all three do a song, or did you all three battle at one point?
Oh, nah.
Okay.
Nah.
So Fresh Gordon, right? Fresh Gordon was the first person that I ever in my life saw play music from an Apple computer. It was the Apple that was like, I think it was like the first edition of Apple. It had the monitor and the little keyboard connected.
Oh, for real?
And you put the floppy disk inside the little slot inside the monitor. It was just crazy. And
well, I mean,
I was
Gordy is a computer genius.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
I mean, he's a special kind of dude.
Yeah.
Like,
completely special.
Yeah. Always been. So, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't even sit here and debate you on that. Even I've never seen it happen, but I believe you 100%. The way I know how dude get down with them computers.
No, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I knew from that point that he was something different. He was like, he did Push It, he did Gordy's Groove, he did a lot of records, man. And just to see him work like that, man, was just, to me, a very amazing thing to witness. And I should have bought Apple stock right then and there.
Joe, you're right. Yeah.
That's my one regret, bro.
Yeah.
That's my one regret right there. I should have bought Apple stock at that moment. And I'm still kicking myself to this day about it.
Yeah, man. I love Gordy though, man. Yeah.
So who were was there anyone in your any other artists that was coming up that you that was one of your favorite artists outside of Barry White and James Brown? Was there another like hip hop artist that you felt was?
Oh, like when I started rapping, like I was like probably Grandmaster Caz' biggest fan. Like like that was like my idol. That was just hip hop God to me. When I first heard Grandmaster Caz.
Right.
So yeah, it was like like that dude was just so inspirational to me when I first picked up a pen. And then of course Melly Mel. I mean, it's like Mel was spitting fire, and then it's like this dude is making conscious records. He's in movies. He's in Beat Street. I'm like, and I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have graduated high school if it wasn't for Mel's last verse on Beat Street Breakdown.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, so, what happened? Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, like in high school, you need like I think 4 credits in math, 4 in like science, 7 in English, but you need 8 credits in social studies. And, you know, I just had this view like, man, hey, why do you have to have all these credits in social study? What job am I going to get in the future that's going to require me to know any of this stuff from social studies, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, I don't get it. I'm like, I feel like I have to take 2 courses of American history, 2 courses of global studies for you to educate me on what white people did for this country, or for what white people did for the world. I think that this is something to brainwash me so that, you know, I think on a smaller plateau. I mean, you
Right.
know, so I'm like, you know, government, law, all the rest of that stuff, I get it. But why is it that I have to take 2 courses of American history, 2 courses of global studies? I'm like, nah, this is one of your brainwash tactics. And, you know, I ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe.
Right.
So I wasn't feeling it, and I just wouldn't go.
Wow.
Like, government, law, you know, I passed on that. I Black history, you know, but as far as that American history and global studies, I wasn't feeling it, you know.
Because
and
it wasn't relative.
But yeah, I'm like, it's never gonna be in the future. And I was feeling I wasn't gonna get them 8 credits in social studies. But when my man said Dakar outreach, Hiroshima, Vietnam, Leningrad, Iwo Jima, Okinawa, Korea, the Philippines, devastating deaths in the killer machines, I'm like, I'll never be dope unless I know what the hell Mel taught. Like, this is real talk. I'm like, yeah, I think that I need to take American history, otherwise I'll never be as dope as Melly Mel.
Yo,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
That's a teachable moment right there,
Yeah.
bro.
Like, for
that
real.
Is definitely a teachable moment, man. And that's a part of how entertainment can educate at the same time, right? Because, you know, now it's like, I'm not going to be left out. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is nice. He knows that. Like, it brings me to this next question for you. And, you know, growing up in Brooklyn, you know, you had a record player and you had the whole entire encyclopedia books in your crib. Like, from
Encyclopedias.
Yo, do you remember the encyclopedias, man?
Hell yeah. Well, what was it? What was the company name? Was it Botanical?
Botanica. Yeah. It was like, I mean, I wonder who in the hell started that shit, that you had to have the whole entire encyclopedia shit in your crib.
Yo, nah. But yo, let me turn you on to something. When I did Back on the Block with Quincy Jones,
right,
he was asking me what did I know about Dizzy Gillespie, Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald. Got me, bro. I mean, they you know, they do jazz, and you know, I'm like, you know, I just found out, you know, last year that Dizzy Gillespie don't play a sax. Craig Nice was wrong. Like, that's about it. And you know, he had his assistant bring in Black encyclopedias. They came in with about 30 books. Yeah, about 30 books that was all about, you know, Black history. I didn't even know that existed. Encyclopedias that was just based on Black people. And everybody was in there. Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, Miles Davis, Quincy Jones. Like, I mean, all these people were in these books. I never even knew Black encyclopedias existed.
Word.
Quincy had them bring it to the studio. And each person that he wanted me to rap about, he'd have me read the chapter on them. And then he'd tell me, yeah, the nickname, we used to call him such and such, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, when we was kids, we was saying the word homeboy way back then. And this, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, quick, yeah. Yeah, I never knew Black encyclopedias existed.
Yo, man, that's I mean, that's needed right now, today. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the kids need to understand, you know what I'm saying, not just Washington Carver, but they need to, you know, they need to understand, you you know, who the Bishop Willises of the world are. You know what I'm saying? Who the Percy Suttons of the world. You know what I mean? You know, and I think that, you know, I think for them to overload us with European culture and culture that's not relative to us suppresses our identity. But
Indeed.
we're such a strong being that we still push through.
Yes.
And so I wanna talk about transitioning, because you and your career, from rapping, doing movies, doing videos, you know, like a lot of the artists today, they try to get people to watch them. They want eyeballs, they want attention, so they do different things. They act out, they carry guns, they paint their hair different colors. You know, you've been able to have a very solid career, just with your catalog. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's so classic and so timeless that, and you've worked with Quincy Jones, you've worked with Madonna, you've worked with, you know, other people that the average artist don't get an opportunity to do that. You know what I'm saying? So you're a special brand in itself. You got this new record that you did with Chuck D. Tell us a little bit about it. I got it pinned right here. It's called Enough, featuring Chuck D from Public Enemy. And you're doing something that we all should support, and it's revolutionary, that you're giving the proceeds to the sales of the records, and complete proceeds away. Tell us a little bit about that record, how it came about, and what's the purpose?
Well, I mean, you know, police brutality ain't nothing new. You know, it's something that we've been dealing with and experiencing for a very long time. You know, it's just that it's being recorded more now, but it's been going on. And in a time period when you see the deaths of Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, you know, all happening back to back, and then, you know, what happened with the situation with Ahmaud Arbery, you know, it's like, yo, this is just too much. And then when I'm sitting there watching this young queen, Tamika Mallory, sitting there talking about enough is enough. And her speech was so powerful. That speech she gave in Minneapolis, man, it was so powerful. It touched me like, you know, one of those Malcolm X type of ways, you did?
Right.
So after hearing that, I was like, you know, I know I said I don't really feel like recording nothing right now, but I got something to say. You know, like it was like I really felt like I got something to say, so let me go ahead and do that. And you know, like, you know, she was really the inspiration. And you know, I got it done, and then I had an idea. I reached out to Chuck, and he sent me that State of the Union joint that he did, and I'm like, oh, okay, so we on the same page. You know? So, yeah, let's make this happen. So I sent him the track. He put his thing on it, and yeah, and then good brother that sings with Adrian Young, Lauren Oden, he came and blessed the hook for us, and yeah.
The song is definitely appropriate for the current time, and it's what we need to hear, it's what we need to support, it's what we need to push. So you know, I got it. I'll play it a little bit later on, before we end this live. But yeah, nah, I mean, you know, how much more do they expect us to take? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you kill us, we still come back, you know?
I just hope that, you know, that we as a people know how to keep that energy, man, you know? Because since then, there's been so many distractions, you know, certain streaming services making movies with black actors free for the month and advertising them on their front page, and people tearing down goofy ass statues, you know, like, you know, that really changes anything. There's just been so many distractions, man, that's, you know, making us forget the real problem, the real issue, you know. And, you know, when these distractions come into play, then they put something else in front of you and you forget what you was fighting about. So it's like, you know, we can't get caught up in this here whole World Wide Web thing, man, where we just get fed the information they want to program into us and we follow and flow with that. You know what I'm saying? If we really want to change, we're going to have to stick to our guns, stay focused, and keep fighting for it. You know?
Absolutely. And we also gotta realize that, you know, our vote count. You know, there's a lot of people out there that think that voting is senseless and it's not going to do anything, but there's always, you know, power.
Do me a favor, ask them, the people that feel that way, please ask them, if they vote don't count, then why are they going through so much trouble to prevent us from voting? I mean, they just let us vote if it don't count.
Right.
So why are they going through so much trouble to prevent us from voting?
Right. So we've started, me, Maria Davis, Bob Sumner, Gwen Kingsbury, Deanne Womack. We started this I Am the Vote, hashtag I Am the Vote campaign. So we're encouraging people to go out and vote. We're encouraging people to, you know, to take it upon themselves to do their part. If we can do our part as individuals, collectively we can win, you know. And if we think that 4 years of the orange guy and at the helm is tough, and it's been tough on everybody, what do you think an additional 4 years is going to be? It's going to be lock, chain. It's going to be total annihilation of race. It's going to be even worse. So we got to vote like our lives depend on it.
Yeah.
And it does.
You know, I mean, because, I mean, let me ask you something, man. Back in the days, you ever been in a bad relationship?
Oh, yeah, several.
Okay. Now, dig it. You in this bad relationship, right?
Yep.
And you meet someone new, and people tell you, yo, man, that girl bad shit crazy, man. You don't want to mess with her, man. That girl, but you in a bad relationship. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's like, yeah, it'll be great if you can find that perfect person. But I said, you're in a bad relationship that's hurting you. You know what I'm saying? And you say, so what you saying, I should stay here in this when I know it don't work, as opposed to taking a chance with something new. Because, you know, what you call bad shit crazy might be something I like, or might be something of the past that, you know, that they may have new views of life, you know? But one thing I know for sure is this right here is terrible. And we in America are in a very, very bad relationship, man. You know? So yeah, and telling me that someone else is bad, I hear you. But I take my chance over there because I already know what this is. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be, but I already know what this is, you know. And this is 2022. You know, we might have, you know, them signs, you know, to say, you know, whites only on the water fountain again, you know.
Well, that's what the whole making America great again. You know what I'm saying? That was previous. So he's trying to, you know, reverse the hands of time. You know, my whole thing is, man, if you're in the mud, don't lay in the mud. Get your ass up out the mud. You're not a pig. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to live in the mud, in the dirt. Get up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I mean, let me tell you something, man. I have a lot of friends that's Republicans.
Me too. I have family members that are Republicans.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not a political thing.
No, not at all.
It's not about, you know, I don't like Republicans. And matter of fact, you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure you know that normally when a Republican is in office, people like myself, that's when we eat the most.
Right, for sure.
You know, I just support Democratic views because a lot of the Democratic views, you know, loosen that knot for middle class people. You know what I'm saying? Whereas a lot of middle class people can actually eat. You know,
Right.
there's a lot of moms and pops and independent businesses can eat. You know,
Right.
so not thinking selfishly. You know, that's why I normally vote Democrat. You know, for the sake of the middle class and the independent business. You know,
Right. Right.
but I have nothing against Republicans. So, because like when Bush, you know, Reagan office, I was eating. You know, but this is not about politics. This is about a racist narrative that's being projected in America. And it's separating people and destroying people. And that's what it's all about, plain and simple. No politics.
So we both, I understand we both have Southern roots.
Huh?
I said, I understand we both have Southern roots. Like my
Yeah,
mom
yeah,
is
yeah.
from,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
mom is from Charleston, North Carolina. My father is from Bladensboro, Elizabethtown, North Carolina, right outside Fayetteville.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, I got a cousin that his name is Lennon Lacey. Back in 2014, they said he hung himself on a swing set in North Carolina, in Bladensboro.
Uh-huh.
And you know, they're covering it up to make it seem like it's a suicide. And you know, and that has been their narrative. Oh, if you say it's a suicide and he was depressed, then you know, they're gonna close the case and there's not gonna be an investigation and all that stuff. So, you know, there's gonna be a petition that's gonna be circulating within the next 48 hours. That's gonna, you know, that I'm gonna send out. So look out for it. For me, it's for Lennon Lacey. And it tells the story. There's a documentary out called Always in Season. That's on PBS. It's going to air until the 30th of this month on PBS. It tells the story. It's narrated by Danny Glover. It's painfully powerful to watch. But, you know, being that I have Southern roots, and most of us do, most New Yorkers, you know, their family, their bloodline is coming from the South, because that's where the slave trade came in to America. So most of us come from either Charleston, the Port of Charleston, or North Carolina. But you know, it's important for us to know where we from, so we can see all the minds that are in front of us. Because there's constant distractions, you know, that's put in our place, and it's that what we call trick knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they'll tell you, oh, the chicken sandwiches are over here, and they're like, yo, them chicken sandwiches are crazy. So now everybody batshit crazy for chicken sandwiches when they're robbing you blind and they're stealing your property right from under your face, and you're so full and satisfied with your chicken sandwich that you don't realize that they're stealing from you. So, you know, we got to open our minds, and we got to open our hearts, and we got to support each other fiscally, emotionally, and we got to encourage the mental health, because people are just, they bugged out. They just, you know what I'm saying? They can't see the trickery.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the first thing that I think everyone has to do. This is very important. You have to learn to listen, to understand, not to listen, to reply. You know, take a second, step back, hear what that person is saying, process it. Too many people listen to something that someone say and be like, nah, but you know, you don't understand. Nah, you ain't taking a second to really process, you know, because that person may have dropped the jewel on you and you missed it, you know, because you sitting there like, you know, someone turning double dutch, waiting to jump in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like you're not really focused or paying attention or doing the knowledge to what's being said, man.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
I mean, listening is an art. You know what I'm saying? And everyone, even though they have have a pair of ears, they still can't hear. That's why you have people that can make great music and people that can, you know, that will try to push trash in your direction. You know what I'm saying? But we all sonically, we have that sense of because it's a vibration, really. You know what I'm saying? It's a vibration. You know the vibe. You know the vibration when you feel it. You know what I'm saying? I want to say congratulations on all of your accomplishments. Grammys, nomination, Grammys, the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame that you got last year
Oh, thank you,
in
man.
Raleigh. You know, and you know, I'm in full support of everything that it is that you're doing. You know, not because you're my homeboy, but you know, I like what you stand for, and you know, you've always been 6 o'clock. You know, with me. You know, and most everybody that I know. So, you know, and the fans love you, man. I told them to make sure that they put up their ice cream emojis, and you know what I'm saying. You like.
Well, listen here, bro. enough about me, man. Salute to the legend in the house. I just saw Melba Moore name. So,
oh wow.
Salute to you, Queen.
Melba, we love you, Melba.
Yeah. If I was in the studio, I'd blast on 3500 right now, huh? And Ronnie Dyson. Oh, that's my jam right there.
Hold up, man. Let me see if I can oblige you, man. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah. And much love to Jenna Law for always showing support. And I see my two little homegirls. Y'all look out for Maura and Mina. These two young sisters are the truth in hip hop. And DJ Young Prince, man. Young Fresh Prince. I see you, my brother. Much respect. You know, I love seeing young hip hop, that really like, have respect for the culture.
Right.
And Young Fresh Prince, Maura and Mina, young cats that's beautiful.
Speaking of young cats, man, I was watching your Instagram, and your son was spitting the song.
Yeah, he wrote that. He wrote that.
Yo, it was so natural, and I'm like, yo, but the way he shot it, right? It was like silhouette. It was dark. You couldn't really see him, and he was just like, yo, stepping into the scene and just killing it.
Yeah, I'm like,
incredible.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, dog, you know Hype Williams or something? Why this video so dark, man?
So he got what it takes, man. Like, what is you gonna put him in the studio and let him rock out? Like, what's the plan?
Nah, yeah, absolutely. Nah, I mean, he wants to do it. I mean, it's like, he was talking, but now he's dead serious. So yeah. Wow. Absolutely.
Wow. Well, I mean, there's no greater person, no greater example that he could have than, a strong father figure like yourself, man. And just lyrically, and I know that everybody is like, they want to, put skills, match skills versus other skills, and they, well, yo, man, what's up with a Verzuz? Are you gonna, if you're gonna battle Rakim? Is it God versus the God? Like I think that's great and exciting for the culture, but I just think some people just be trying to take it a little bit too far. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's like from a fan standpoint, it's something that everybody want to see happen. It's like, I mean, when I did Fat Joe IG, like, he couldn't even wait to get in the conversation. I think he said hello, asked me, jump straight to that, So,
right.
I mean, I get it, from, people that want to see it. And I mean, there's some people wanting to see it, and people have tried to make happen for, the past 30 years. But I mean, if they can't make it happen, then, that's what it is,
Right.
I think it would be very entertaining. I think it would be very, very entertaining. I mean, in all honesty, I think it would be even more exciting if it was me and KRS.
Why you say that?
Well, I mean, for one, because it's like, him and Rod, they both have hits, but KRS is a real battle rapper. Rakim is a great lyricist. KRS is a battle rapper. Like,
right, exactly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He know how to go at me. So me doing some Kane jams, Chris doing some KRS jams, and then maybe like 3 rounds of us going at each other, And then, I use a B-boy now. Since, me, Scoop, and Scrapping got older, I use a B-boy now that's breaking on stage with me. And KRS, he got one of the B-boy anthems with the Step Into a World.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if we incorporate B-boy elements, it could be something crazy, bananas. You know what I'm saying? I think it could be something spectacular. But, I think that would really be the big one. But, I know that the people want the right thing. And, I welcome it. If they can make it happen, that's fine. Let's do it,
Yo, I think, I thought of who would be a good matchup for Krs-One, and who would be a matchup for you. I know there's females that love hip hop, but I don't really know of too many women records that Chris has. You know what I'm saying? Like, the ladies are gonna come. You know what I'm saying? All the hip hop heads are gonna be there, but if you go record for record, and I think that's how they measure it, like 20 records a piece, and match up, and then people, it's really about the playlist. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's really about what you
in my
play.
catalog, the records for women would be Smooth Operator, I Get the Job Done, Very Special. We could take them 3 out and just keep it gangster.
Okay.
We can take them 3 out, just
Okay.
keep it gangster. And instead of them 3, those would be the 3 that we go back and forth, bar for bar. You see what I'm saying? Because
you know what might be interesting though? You know what might be interesting? Because you have women female friendly records, and he may not have female friendly records. If he would do a freestyle over those female friendly records to see if he can win the females, to pull them into his.
Nah. I wouldn't want to cheat. Because it's like mine already viewed that way. So I wouldn't want to take Chris out of his comfort zone. It need to be fair. You know what I'm saying? It need to be fair, and that would be taking him out of his comfort zone.
Okay.
It would need to be fair. But I just think that would be. But still in all, it's like that's just what I see. But people, they want me and Rakim. And if they can, pull it together, then let's do it, Let's do it.
Right.
But I think it's pretty much been mission impossible to make it happen. So
right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's great for the culture, man. And and again, it gives us something to watch. We're at home anyway, you know what I'm saying? We need to be entertained. You know what I'm saying? And, and those verses have definitely been entertaining. So we got about 1 minute left, man. If there's anything else that you want to say, anyone that you want to salute, any of the Brooklyn artists that are out there that are listening or on this live, we want to salute you guys.
It's always good looking Brooklyn, but I got love for the world. So, wherever you at, you know what I'm saying? Much respect to you. Thank you for tuning in and showing me love and showing my brother Rob love.
That's what's up. And if you're a new artist and you want me to listen to and review your records, go to my website, hit my music review page, and send me your music, and I will check it out. And don't forget to support Big Daddy Kane featuring Chuck D from Public Enemy. His record is called Enough. It's on all the streaming platforms. Pick it up, share it.
Because the proceeds go to Until Freedom to support Tamika Mallory and my son General Cause. And